The Final Inspection by Sergeant Joshua Helterbrand. The soldier stood and faced his God, which must always come to pass. He had hoped his shoes were shining, just as brightly as his brass. Step forward now, soldier. How shall I deal with you? Have you always turned the other cheek? To my church have you been true? The soldier squared his shoulders and said, No, Lord, I guess I ain't, because those of us who carry guns can't always be a saint. I've had to work most Sundays, and at times my talk was tough. And at times I've been violent, because this world is awfully rough. But I never took a penny that wasn't mine to keep, though I worked a lot of overtime when the bills got just too steep. I never passed a cry for help, though at times I shook with fear. And sometimes, God, forgive me, I've wept unmanly tears. I know I don't deserve a place among the people here. They never wanted me around, except to calm their fears. If you've a place for me here, Lord, it needn't be so grand. I've never expected much, or had too much, but if you don't, I'll understand. There was silence all around the throne, where the saints had often trod, as the soldier waited quietly for the judgment of his God. Step forward now, soldier. You've borne your burdens well. Walk peacefully in heaven's street. You've done your time in hell. That was Sergeant Helterbrand. Lovely poem. Hello out there. Veterans abroad, join us in this evening of peace and union, with allies abroad recognizing our military forces, past, present, and future. There are no borders in this space tonight. Tonight we are one. I'm Aaron Gibson, and this is Soul Man Live.
Walking this long road has been no easy wrath. Wondering if my sanctuary would ever cross my path after a long time past. This heart so scarred, trying so many times. Not enough real estate for another one. In the sand I've had to draw that line. The only struggle you face when you're out there all alone is missing that fleeting feeling of having someone who wants you to come home. I've given it all, however this soul knows defeat. Better off on my own, somehow a heart still continues to speak. Quiet whispers on occasion now, I can hear that chest thump. I'm a man of quality and value, why at the end of the line am I left stumped? The only struggle you face when you're out there all alone is missing that fleeting feeling of having someone who wants you to come home. I really wanted to find you, honestly, every ounce of me did. Laughing on that front porch swing, remembering what it feels like to live. Not sweating the small stuff, coming together in moments of trial. Seeing things through to the end, being able to cuddle quietly a little while. The only struggle you face when you're out there all alone is missing that fleeting feeling of having someone who wants you to come home. If one day you do start looking for me, I might be by that time blind. Look long and hard enough, my heart you might find. Till then I will sit, contemplating in the universe. One might see this quiet, modest soul, forgetting what life with another could be. The only struggle you face when you're out there all alone is missing that fleeting feeling of having someone who wants you to come home.
And you need to know that I love it here. I love this place. And when you know I'm coming here, leave me alone. Don't bother me, because I'm having a good time.
I stood alone in the darkest of days, feeling the pain in so many ways. Bloody, broken, and bruised, only to get back up. If it hadn't been for the bad, I wouldn't have had any luck. I've walked through hell and then back again, risking it all for those I call friends. I got a whole heart that I wear on my sleeve, big shoulders I'm not gonna leave. Be that one soul to stand by your side, that one steady constant while others hide. pushing on the new day. Had my heart shattered in a million different parts, building it back up again, only to be broken and return to the start. These scars are my medals of the wars I have won. I have made my way with the energy of a sun. I got a whole cart that I wear on my sleeve, big shoulders I'm not gonna leave. Be that one soul to stand by your side, that one steady constant while others hide. I hear you speak your loudest when you have nothing to say, digging deep, pushing on the new day. I'll admit a narcissist had me a fool. However, here's a life preserver, baby, for the shallow end of the pool. I have worked hard on what I have built, not gonna take you the credit for it. Your heart is empty, blind to guilt. I'm a soul of humble and kind, of which you'll never understand. A heart and vulnerability of a kind and gentle man. I got a whole cart that I wear on my sleeve, big shoulders I'm not gonna leave. Be that one soul to stand by your side, that one steady constant while others hide. I hear you speak your loudest when you have nothing to say, digging deep, pushing on the new day. Please don't mistake my kindness for weakness. I am not alone. An army of those who know my heart, opening their arms as my home. Burn me to ashes, I shall rise again, only to be reborn, a stronger, wiser man. I got a
In the stillness after the storm, where the echoes used to play, stand the warrior scarred by the battles of yesterday. Not the wounds on the skin, but the fractures deep inside. Fought the demons in silence, with no one by their side. Marched through the fields of fire, with the weight of the world on their back. Each step a thunderous echo, each breath a silent attack. They've seen the horizons bleed, and the skies turn to gray. Now they're home, but the war's not over, it's just moved away. It's a deafening sound of silence in the minds of the brave, a thunderous roar of nothing that they can't seem to save. After the battles are over and the dust starts to fade, the real war begins in the shadows they've made. It's the silence that screams in the hearts of the strong, a song of the warriors who've been fighting all alone. They've danced with the darkness in the corners of their mind, where the light barely touches and the peace they can't find. Each night a battlefield, each dawn a chance to begin, but the scars never heal and the war never ends. They've heard whispers of doubt in the silence of the night. Felt the cold hand of fear stealing away the light. But they stand tall and mighty with the strength of their pain. In the quiet of the aftermath, they find themselves again. It's the deafening sound of silence in the minds of the brave, a thunderous roar of nothing that they can't seem to save. After the battles are over and the dust starts to fade, the real war begins in the shadows they made. It's the silence that screams in the hearts of the strong, a song of the warriors who've been fighting all along. In the hush of the aftermath, where the warriors reside, they find solace in the silence, where the broken can abide. It's not the absence of sound, but the presence of the fire that echoes in their spirit through the darkest of the night. It's the deafening sound of silence. a little journey about this path less traveled of mine. Hasn't been a walk for the faint of heart, and how one evolves over time. Once a soldier, always a soldier, with no reservations on returning to hell, to help another soul from brimstone's cut, looking at their core, not their shell. Climbed out of here many times myself, learning each twist and turn like the back of my hand. Remember every scar as it was delivered, to fight back for the ability to stand. Take a long, hard look into these eyes, soul piercing with a spark of fire. Know my purpose on this earth, elevate silent from the ground higher. Don't mistake the kindness for weakness, it has an unspoken power. Jerk this chain long enough, might light the ignition to my fuse, yeah. A never say die attitude, it's fuel, it's nitro, it's integrity that resides. Cauterize into the touch, an intensity I contain to the inside, and the inside. Learning through experience to endure the pain, concentrated focus as the fire begins to rain. Some choose to ignore it, could be their downfall all the same. Rising up from your ashes again and again. Take a long, hard look into these eyes, soul piercing with a spark of fire. Know my purpose on this earth, elevate silent from the ground higher. Don't mistake the kindness for weakness, it has an unspoken power. Jerk this chain long enough, might light the ignition to my fuse, yeah. I have seen the torturous outcomes when we choose to lay our wrath. So understand I'm executing a choice, should you choose to cross my path. Life ain't easy, try to take the higher path all the time. Tread carefully on the gentleness in this world, for even we know when to draw the line. Take a long, hard look into these eyes, soul piercing with a spark of fire. Know my purpose on this earth, elevate silent from the ground higher. Don't mistake the kindness for weakness, it has an unspoken power. Jerk this chain long enough, might light the ignition to my fuse, yeah. The deep rumbling off in the rise, dark ominous clouds filling above a concerned heart for those who are wise. Burning each breath, a scent of ash in the air. The look in your eyes, I can tell you've been there. It's gonna start dropping down from above, falling from that threshold for pain. It's gonna rain. Pushed beyond all patience, holding back flames at hell's gate. The ignorant cross that line drawn, little knowing the outcome to their fate. The time for pleasantries well over, with no other options on where to go. The sky begins to plummet, drawn to the surface, a warrior begins to show.
It's gonna start dropping down from the heavens above, falling from the threshold for pain. Hellfire and brimstone ignited. Ooh, stand back, it's gonna rain. In the downpour of what falls from the sky, the scorch has etched experience deep within your eyes. When the last drop has descended, still kind but no longer compliantly fed, don't think empathy has been lost. It's being wielded wisely instead. It's gonna start dropping down from the heavens above, falling from the threshold for pain. Hellfire and brimstone ignited. Ooh, stand back, it's gonna rain. Start dropping down from the heavens above, falling from the threshold for pain. Hellfire and brimstone ignited. Oh, stand back, it's gonna rain.
Gazing into another long sunset, vigilance on the horizon during moonrise. We are the unwavering during the vigil, no retreat regardless the numbers or their size. Do not judge us by those commending our We are designed to follow orders, improvise, adapt and overcome in any rail. We are the fallen, the selfless servant and changing the tide. We are those who have volunteered our soul. We charge into the danger while others hide. Remember us, those who have been willing to sacrifice their life. The tears we will never be able to shed in the pursuance of freedom, peace and rights. Trudging forward, focused and undeterred, through the rain, mud, sleet or snow. Determination and no retreat, through our veins, pumps and flows. We are here one moment, possibly snuffed out on the next, and stand to end alert in a moment's notice. Ever marching the advance, no time for rest. We are the fallen, the selfless servant and changing the tide. We are those who have volunteered our soul. We charge into the danger while others hide. Remember us, those who have been willing to sacrifice their life. The tears we will never be able to shed in the pursuance of freedom, peace and rights. Our shells may look different, however at our core we are one. We are the faceless in the eyes of war. We remain the fire when all comes undone. Never forget what we have fought for. The gift of freedom comes at great cost. We are the soul dyers of the people. Don't let the memories of what you enjoyed today become lost. We are the fallen, the selfless servant and changing the tide. We are those who have volunteered our soul. We charge into the danger while others hide. Remember us, those who have been willing to sacrifice sacrificed their life, the tears we will never be able to share, in the pursuance of freedom, peace and rights. Oh man, love to all of our veterans, no matter where borders may lie. Once a soldier, always a soldier. Our commitment to peace and life shall never die. Keep it luminous, you beautiful soul.
Oh, I've been waiting for this. Oh boy, I've been waiting for this. What's
to the one. Brace for liftoff. The rafters are coming undone. Exercising the system, but different perspective, a different view, delivering that universal joy that's long overdue. 'Cause if you hear me, psych up the mode. This is Aaron Gibson, Soul Man, live fight. Gladiator, Hulk heart ready to explode. Groovy Q-box with speakers blasting, funkin' relaxing, pumping in the air. That pounding in your chest, emitting from within. Cue the trumpets in your solar flare. Momentum growing like a Titan's wrath. Crowd building it up now. It's time to broadcast. Your photo whacking, flash that tapping, moon sliding on that floor. Like Michael Bublé crooning with records scratching, your body screams it wants more. We're all hyped up, it's Friday night, and the band's ready to go. Souls are shaking with the earthquake, and let's get on with the show. 'Cause if you hear me, psych up the mode. This is Aaron Gibson, Soul Man, live fight. Gladiator, Hulk heart ready to explode. Groovy jukebox with speakers blasting, funkin' lassie, bumping in the air. That pounding in your chest, emitting from within. Cue the trumpets in your solar flare. Here comes the intro with the soul style beat. The wait is all over now, igniting the phoenix is what we see. 'Cause if you hear me, psych up the mode. This is Aaron Gibson, Soul Man, live fight. Gladiator, Hulk heart ready to explode. Groovy jukebox with speakers blasting, funkin' lassie, pumping in the air. That pounding in your chest, emitting from within. Cue the trumpets in your solar flare.
And good evening, everyone, and thank you for attending this evening's Veterans Day, Remembrance Day, Honorary recognition tribute. Sweet Mary, Mother of Pearl. That's what happens when you read the final inspection before you even kick off the show. It was this poem that is, I know, spoken to so many that have served. And it brings up so much in that poem from before, during, and after. And I love where it goes. And I hope that it is something that you can take away from tonight. Again, I have got this evening, and I've got some fantastic gents lined up in the background. And while the pre-live's going, I'm looking at them, and I'm like, one cat I got introduced to through Leslie Flowers. And he was part of, you can give me the nod, I'm pretty sure I remember it correctly. He was part of the Vietnam War. And then another cat I met actually while he was attending another audio. Fantastic. And he's got the same kind of hairstyle that I do. And then this last one, I actually got a chance to meet at Podfest this year at 2024 and got to wrap him up with a big burly hug and ran into him by in coincidence attending a veterans speaker panel. So some amazing cats that we've got lined up for this evening to talk about Veterans Day, Remembrance Day, things that come to them when they look back at their career. We're going to dive lightly though, because I don't want any of these fellow souls to go too far down the rabbit hole. Of course, there may be, I'm going to just gently give a trigger warning for this evening in case we do talk about some rough stuff, because that's part of what military was. Again, that's why that poem speaks so loudly. I've had to talk tough at times. Yeah. Each one of these individuals, I can tell you, have had that moment, and the looks on their faces when they were listening to me read it. And I see the smiles right now. Yeah. So without further delay or ado, and of course, I've got my magic wand to bring all of these fantastic souls up on stage. First, welcome to our stage, Frank Zaccari, followed by the fantastic Phillip Ayles. Then by, of course, a dear brother, Enrique Acosta Gonzalez. I probably butchered your name a little bit, but I like to get a little bit of accent, a little bit of Latino in there.
You're good. You're good.
How are my fine gentlemen doing this evening? You guys, your smiles are just lighting it up. Thank you for being here.
Wonderful. Thanks for having us.
Hey, greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So you all are quite already involved in a lot of other veterans media kind of associations. What do each one of you have going on right now? We'll start with Frank, and then we'll go down to Enrique, and then we'll go with Phillip, and then we're going to just reverse everything up just to confuse everybody, and then we'll get the next round of questions out there. But please, share.
Sure. Enrique and I are both part of Parade Deck, and which is a program for veterans to put out whatever kind of messages that they want and make connections. I've spoken at the Military Influencers Conference once, and it's thrilling. I live in San Diego and I live in Scottsdale, Arizona, between the two, so we're involved with a number of different veteran organizations. We just had a thing in October in San Diego. And the beautiful thing about being a veteran and working with veterans, and I also wrote a book about business secrets from the battlefield to the boardroom, which was a bestseller. We wrote with 19 veterans and veteran supporters, including Leslie Flowers, who I understand is here. She wrote a chapter. And the beautiful thing about a veteran is they'll always help. Always. I've never, ever once heard a veteran say no, that they would not help. I've heard some veterans not take the help, but I've never seen a veteran say, no, you're on your own. They will always reach out. And that's why we always give back. I was told when I got out of the military, and Chief Master Sergeant said to me, that vow you took, that wasn't just for the 4 years that you're on active duty. That vow is forever. Remember that.
It's a commitment to life, isn't it?
Exactly.
What do you think, Enrique? What are you doing out there for your social media? I know you're just lighting it up because I see you lighting up on so many different posts right now. Take away the stage, my friend.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. Nice to be in Phillip's and Frank's company tonight. What I'm working on primarily right now is that I am the current title holder of Mr. Military Florida for this next coming year. So I'm wrapping that up throughout the state, hitting events here and then. I was just telling Phillip that I have to hit Jacksonville because I got to get up there and get Mr. and Mrs. Jacksonville in place. But that's what I've been doing now, and of course the podcast, which keeps me pretty busy.
100%. And if you haven't done so already out there in the world, please make sure that you connect with each one of these individuals. I've got their profiles highlighted in the event description. Phillip, what are you doing these days, my friend? You are on fire as well.
Yeah, well, I started out a coaching business and everything, and then I realized uh, after being, because I'm a mentor for the Clay County Veterans Treatment Court here in just outside Jacksonville, and because I needed to get with people that hit rock bottom and got caught in the system. Well, as I started doing it and started realizing that we're all warriors, we're trained to be warriors and fight whatever's in front of us. We don't look back, we
That's right.
fight forward. And when you get into the civilian world or back into being a regular citizen of the United States, it's powerful. And a lot of the times, because we only make up 5% of the population. So my question is, should they cater to us or should we learn to be like them again? And with indoctrination in the front, that's all we know. Well, those same tactics that I used in Iraq don't fly here in the
That's right.
civilian world because there's options, and I never realized um, every opportunity that I had is what I had in the past. Now it's, oh, what do you mean I'm stuck in the present? Well, that's where we have the most problems because we know how to deal with chaos.
That's right.
Chaos is easy. I love being in a combat zone. It's
Because we
coming
were
back
conditioned,
here.
right? We were
Yeah.
conditioned with that, like we were given that alternative. Okay, if this plan A doesn't work, then we're going to go to plan B, and we're going to have plans C, D, E, and F also on the backup in case stuff goes south, right?
Exactly.
Yes. And when you look at it, when a lot of guys coming out, I mean, you go straight high level stress the whole time you're over there because if you lose that pucker factor is when you get in trouble. But coming back here, I know guys, even myself, we were in Iraq one day, 2 days later, we were in a mall in uh, Seattle, and none of the pressures, none of the stress, but yet we were vigilant the whole time because we couldn't lose it. And then we had to go right back into it. Well, those, what it is, it's stress and trauma compacted over uh, the combat. And now you have, I spent 24 years, I have 24 years of deployments and trauma, and I was the military police. And so I got to see the horrors of humanity. Well, I don't have them here anymore. And that's where you lose your identity, you lose your whatever, and then you get in your own head, and that's where we need to heal. We're still Maseratis, Rolls Royce, all these, because the government put a lot of money into us. And now it's about, now how do we take that when we're used to sprinting everywhere? How do we walk? Because we lose patience because oh, everybody's lazy. Well, no, they're just running at a different frequency than you're used to.
You bring up a really, and not to cut you off, you bring up a
No.
really good point, and it's something that I wanted to actually bring up for the next round of questioning, which is, and of course we'll get you to kick off on it, is that recognition of we were conditioned to be in those positions. And for those of you at home, you know what? First off, before we get into this, Phillip, what was your rank? What was your position?
I was a military police officer and I was an E7. And then I transitioned off active duty into the reserves to earn my master's. And because I could have went to OCS, but I needed my education more. And it was a transition time to where, hey, I could have stayed in and gone on many more deployments and not been able to level myself up for the civilian side. And but with getting that master's, it opened up all those DoD contracts that I did overseas. If I didn't have that, I could have never done it.
That's epic. Enrique, what rank and position, my friend?
Yeah, I was an E8 senior chief and meteorologist, oceanographer, and hydrographer.
And Frank?
Well, I was the lowest ranking one here. I was an E4. I did one term, and I was in the Vietnam era when there was a draft still. I wasn't a volunteer military, so it was a very different mindset for those of us who were drafted, and then I enlisted into the Air Force rather than going to the Army. So I was a military medic.
Epic. I myself am retired 3 PPCLI Canadian Forces infantry. The last of the light infantry. We carried everything in on our backs and discharged with honors. And wow, it was a great experience. And we'll get into some of that experience a little bit later, because I got a chance to not actually party with you guys, but I've gotten a chance to party, and because again, we're all about allies, and I know that the world was in chaos out there, and like I said in the post, not tonight, not here. We've been allies for quite some time. We're not going to let some other shift in the world change that, because we were all given a position and a role, and as we talked about right at the very beginning, we don't ever turn away helping someone. So what I wanted to get back to on before we jumped into rank and position here is that recognition of the evolution of how we are trained into that position, but we don't really get an opportunity to be trained to how to re-evolve and adapt back into normal world. How was it for you? All right, and we'll start off with Frank this time.
Well, it was a big difference. I understand it's much better now. The transition, being a medic, during a wartime was, first off, you had to train yourself to take out the emotion. You're going to see things that you shouldn't see, and you're only 19 years old. An average soldier in military in Vietnam was 19. So you're going to see some things that are going to be horrifying, and you're going to hear some stories that are just going to be terrible. But you have to condition yourself that you got to do your job, period. You can cry later, but in the moment, you got to do your job, get it done. And we were trained extremely well on how to do that. I was not a combat veteran. I wasn't where the bullets were flying. I was at the hospital where the military, when the wounded would come back there. And then you try to work with helping them piece back their lives. Because a lot of these guys, they were 19 years old. They're guys that they just finished their prom, and they were over there shooting people and getting shot at, and losing legs and losing limbs. And the suicide rate, it was the big concern with psychiatrists, because they kept saying, make them talk. Whatever you do, make them talk. And when they start talking, then there was a button in the rooms that we could press, and psychiatrists would slip in and sort of listen and see what was going on. But the thing was, with most of them, it was they didn't worry about themselves. And this is so classic with military. They weren't worried about themselves. They're worried about their friends. They're worried about the people. I'm not there helping my buddies. I'm here being wounded. And a lot of it, it was unbelievable that esprit de corps, that I'm concerned about who I left behind. We all lost somebody in those wars. And that's the part that was a big problem for some of these folks, because like the whole battalion got wiped out except for 2 or 3 guys who were wounded. And the survivor guilt, remorse was tremendous. Like, why did I live, and why should I be here, and why was I selected, and all this stuff. Trying to get them to just, hey, you're here for a reason. You're here for a reason. There's something else there for you when you get back. Now, Vietnam was different. When we got back, there weren't parades, and they weren't thank you for your service, and that didn't happen. And one of the psychiatrists said to me, you know what the problem, Frank, you know why that happened? Is because Vietnam was the first war that was in everybody's house and the 6 o'clock news every single night. We didn't see the horrors of Korea, and we didn't see the horrors of Vietnam, World War II every single night, but we saw the horror of Vietnam. And the people at that point couldn't disconnect the veteran or the military. They didn't want to be there either. They couldn't separate them. And it was, you're the troops, you're a part of the problem. And thank God, when we got to the next wave, when these gentlemen were in, that it is passed. And now we support, as a country, we support the troops. We may not support the war, we may not support the administration, but we support the troops, period. Now, the transition out back then, there wasn't much. There was, come in, let's give us your ID badge. Here's the bus. It'll take you to the front gate. Best of luck. And that was pretty much the transition back then. I understand now it's better, and I've been working with some folks out of Hill Air Force Base in, not Hill, Luke, in Arizona on transition and starting to prepare your mindset, particularly, here's what you did in the military. And Philip, like you, I was a mentor with the Veterans Treatment Court.
Hey.
And I had a Marine, reconnaissance Marine, was one of my mentees, I guess is the term we.
Yes.
And he was a mess. He was a mess. And you mentioned that we're warriors. Yeah, he was trained as a warrior. When he got out and he was trying to find his way, he said, Frank, all I know how to do is kill people, and there's no jobs for that. And I said, no, you know much more than that. You know logistics, you know training, you know how to position things, you know how to interact, you know how to lead people in difficult situations and how to get out of difficult situations. And every employer on the planet wants somebody who has those skills to work around an issue and find a solution.
You know, you hit, there's the one thing, I mean, the biggest, I feel the one thing that needs to be recognized and is really cool about this evening, why I'm so stoked that I was able to get all three gentlemen here, all four of us together, was what I was about to say, is that we've got different eras. We've already talked about Iraq. Now we've talked about Vietnam. And of course, we're going to now get Enrique to dive into his journey. And the one thing that I want to hit on for Frank was, this was 80s. You weren't, this was swept under the carpet. Soldiers are soldiers. We bleed oil. There's nothing else, right?
It was the 70s, and and there was no acknowledgement of PTSD. You were weak, or you were shell shocked, or you what was the other one? The term that they used to use, but there was no recognition whatsoever. And you came back, and there was no place to go, because now what do we do now? And
yeah,
no one can relate.
Yeah, I wasn't referring to the actual war itself. I was referring to the recovery time after.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Right? Because that was the time that everybody was literally just sweeping it under the carpet as much as possible. So to come from the Vietnam War in the 70s and then have the 80s to kind of Band-Aid patch it up like clockwork, crazy. Enrique, share with us, my friend, what was it like for you to come in, be prepared for combat, and then to move out of the Army again?
Yeah, so I came in during the Cold War, which was funny to say. So, and Philip might have been during that time as well. But Cold War, first Iraq, second Afghanistan, OEF, IF, right? So it was three sections of time that I was able to serve. But, Frank's era was a tough one. Like he said, they had no context to what this wartime looked like. The last time was World War II, and it's like a long time ago, right? And so that was trying for the nation and the world, right? Or whoever was involved. Now, wartime is not that different, except for the tools and the technology. War is ugly, no matter what era. War is ugly, and you come back with scars that most people cannot even see, right? So we call those here at an organization that I'm part of, the invisible wounds, right? Those things that you cannot tangibly look at and say, oh, this guy is hurt. That's why the VA, you go to the VA and you'll see people that look normal, and they're going to the psych section, or they're going to, there's nothing normal about what they're there for.
That's right.
And so transition for me, although it was different from Frank, it was kind of similar because the moment you turn in your ID, that's it. You're you're done.
Um,
You're done. You get a ticket, you get a plane ticket, you get a airplane, you get a ticket and you're out. And so for me, for a while, I felt abandoned. I was like 26 years and that's it. That's it. We're You're on your own, buddy. Ain't nobody coming to save you to now, right? And so my wingman, my Fox, whole buddy wasn't there. And so you had to deal with stuff on your own until you could find a new tribe, a new, platoon, a new group, which you eventually do find. There's veterans everywhere. I can't probably throw a stick at a house and not hit a veteran around me, right? And so there are times where uh, things are different, but in transition, it's the same. Once you're gone, you're out, and you become this veteran. You can either ditch the last how many years you served and just assimilate and become just a normal citizen. But I say this to a lot of people that I talk about, especially those that I mentor coming out. You have to understand that we are the 1% that the 99% of the world learned to live without. For
Yes.
whatever amount of time you served, they learned to live without you.
That's
And
right.
so we have to learn how it is out here. And sometimes you're like, man, that's how you treat the man. And we don't understand as service people because our main focus is service. So it's still going. I've been 10 years retired and I'm still transitioning. It doesn't stop. I'm learning things more and more. And when you serve 26, 10, I'm only halfway. So
And for me, it's like I did a tour of duty, but I did that. I got a tour of duty in my last year, and it was 3 years. I was in for 3 years. Did the tour of duty, learned enough about what the world was like overseas and some of those real zones where war just does not want to go away ever. It's perpetual. Will never stop, and neither side wants to back down. And so it's 26 years,
26.
26 years, 2 decades, 2.5 decades. Like I thank you for your service, and I do thank everybody here at the table for their service. Philip, your turn, my friend. How about you? What was it like for you? Because you know what, you were the cop.
Yes.
And of course, I'm going to call you on this. And that's why I was saving you right till last. We've got the cop in the room. We get to put the big spotlight on him for a change. All right, my friend. What was it like for you to transition? Because, you were also seeing I want to portray a perspective out there for everybody that when you're in the military and you were an MP, now for Canadian version, I'm not sure for US, but still, you are the law enforcement within the military.
Yes.
And so your buddies are sometimes the people that you are pulling over and you have to put your foot down and they have to honor it. So this man had no easy job when it came to making or being put into very awkward decisions, I assure. So please share with us, my friend, a little bit of what it was like coming in for you and then recognizing, what it was like after getting out.
Well, my problem is I believed in basic human rights, and I bumped heads with a lot of guys that got power drunk
Yeah.
and hid behind their rank, and I call them out on it. That's it, and because there's like, well, I got treated like crap. Well, and there's nothing in the leadership training that I've done my whole career that said I'm here to treat you like crap. Well, no, my whole thing, I followed Colin Powell. He he was my hero. He was what, because everybody that I've ever talked with about him said that he was one of the most phenomenal people on the planet. Everybody loved him because he cared about other people. It wasn't about him, and he should have been a president.
Yes. Yes.
As a
And
Canadian, I won't disagree. We heard a lot about him up here, so and knew about him quite well up here. So he was a man. He was a great leader, and
yeah,
completely back you on that statement. Regardless, there is
well,
no judgment in the space for anybody out there. So
well, the thing about it is most of us that join the military have some type of trauma from our youth, that we're survivors. So we do what we have to eat every day and have a roof over our head and do what it most people implode. Well, I don't have time to. And that's why I like the military, and it was the structure and everything. And if you really look at it, I was institutionalized while I was in because it was first. And we put all, and I realize, and now in retrospect, I look back and I put all my energy and effort into getting promoted, going on missions, doing everything I could to check all those blocks. And now when it went from, well, you don't have enough education to where, oh, now you have too much.
Exactly.
you're overqualified for the role. Oh my God,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah. Well, I did high level stuff over in Iraq I can't tell you about, but
yeah.
you know
No,
what?
no, yeah.
I couldn't even get a server's job at a restaurant. And I had to ask myself, well, maybe it's me. And then I started doing some research on emotional intelligence and how that's a superpower. Being able to control how you react to whatever's in front of you. And I realized there were people out there that had triggers for me. They knew it and they used them all the time. Once I figured that out, they did everything on purpose. I took all those triggers back. I kept them. And so I stopped reacting. And the ones that were triggering me the most got upset, got ticked. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is about me. And that's where I did equine therapy, find out I needed to love myself because I was selfless service. And that's what we're taught. Don't do it because it's the right thing to do.
That's right.
And that's what I try to carry over in the civilian world. Well, everything's so much slower. And I learned what slow was in Iraq. And that's when I was like, well, if I can learn it here, well, it's because my ego and my pride for an American, I held them to a very high standard that I held myself. And the frustration would come because they didn't know it. How can I hold them something they don't know? And then I asked, well, it's not their problem, it's my problem. And then I started soul searching and realizing that, huh, I went through a study that gave me a compound called BNC 210. It was for smoking cessation. Well, they found out what it does for PTSD. It knocks down all those walls I built. And then you get this overwhelming feeling of emotion that you've never felt before. And that's when I realized I was like, huh, everything in my life was my fault. The good decisions, bad decisions, no matter what, the things I've done in my life, people told me you can't do that. Well, hold my beer, because I just did. And I know I I have no problem meeting anybody. But in the civilian world, they see it as a threat. But I learned to squash my ego and humble myself to realize nobody knows me. I can't expect them to unless and it reminded me of back into Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, because I
Yeah.
couldn't read a room.
Yeah.
I didn't know my audience, and I said some very colorful things in my career. And because when you're around a bunch of guys all the time, you're very colorful and you don't hold back. But when I can't do that to my kids,
No.
but that it's hard to get that out of your mind, because how is this little person defying me on everything?
Right. You're under the
And
microscope in a whole new level. And this is worse than inspection, kit inspection, right?
yes, and that's where it all boils down to. I got to get out of that warrior mindset and look into love and being vulnerable. I didn't know what love was until I married my current wife. And that's where the love comes into warrior to love, because she's part of the 95 that have never served. And a lot of them just want to say thank you in a productive way. Well, now instead of looking at what we lost, what did you gain out of everything? Yeah, you had your buddy's dead, but you lived, because now you can go on and help others, the next generation move on, because we're human, and incidents never stop because we're human. And I think that's where I had my change, is when I found out we're all, and I've been to the
We're
Super
not
Bowl.
machines.
Yeah, I've been to the Super Bowl. I've gone out and have just done things because I could, and because I had the background in law enforcement. I got to go to 2 Super Bowls and got paid to be there, and numerous concerts and stuff around here in Jacksonville. And I found out that's the connection. That all these veterans, we want to help, but we don't know where to go. But if we take the perspective of, I want to love my environment rather than, this is not where I want to be and I hate it.
That's right.
Because we've all been there. Who went out and freezing your ass off in the field? You're going, why did I do this?
Hey, you're talking to a Canadian trooper here. we know cold. We know cold. I've got a funny story for you on that a little bit later. For me, when I was coming through, so I was very gung ho. I was very excited to
Hmm.
get in, and because I was like, as it was brought up, we're kind of dealing with our own childhood stuff, and for me, it was getting out of the wrath of my father and starting to build my own life. I was getting older. I was turning 18. It was time to do something, and just security work at the local buildings was not cutting it. This was
Hmm.
not where I wanted to go. And so got in, and then of course, the training, the orientation, the mindset change and shift, and then to come out and go like, wow, we are really just this ineffective outside of what we're doing or what we just did. And you go to your first job and there's like 3 people standing around joking and smoking and doing their thing, and one person standing behind the till busting their butt. And that's usually
Hmm.
a veteran or somebody else that just knows the quality of, let's get the job done. We've got to focus here. It was really challenging for me in skilled trades, because again, we have a production that we need to get done. We need to get this house. We need to have to provide it with heat and air conditioning and all that other good jazz. And so when you've got like 4 guys there and you turn around and they're just still like sitting on lunch, and you're like, wait, like how many lunches are you guys going to have? Because we're used to having maybe 1 lunch in the day, maybe somebody to come along and force us to drink water. And then if you're lucky, maybe you got dinner, right? It wasn't from the fact that it wasn't there, but there was scheduling, there was timings. We needed to be at certain locations, and we also had to make sure that, for me, when I was overseas on my tour, I was a tactical driver, so I'm driving an armored vehicle. all right, fully armored, ready to go at a moment's notice. And you have to be sleep prepared, because if your commanding officer comes along and says, have you had your mandatory 8 hours prior to driving? And you say no, oh, the extras that you get, the extras. And maybe bad enough, you're going to see the MPs. So it's a little bit nuts. Now, I know it's 7 o'clock, guys, and I just thank you all for sharing, again, this beautiful array of perspectives that everybody gets a chance to see. I myself, I mean, I spent years before I discovered that I had PTSD and realized that, like, I was seeing the same things that Phillip was just talking about, like, where are these flaws? What is it really? Is it really these people, or is it me that I haven't reconditioned getting back into just being normal? I am no longer focused on being a cog in a bigger wheel. I'm now allowed to start living my own life. But at the same time, what Enrique was talking about is we build a family when we are there. We build in camaraderies. We have been through those moments where, honestly, if a tear crosses your eye and your buddy catches you, he might just let one go too, and you don't say a damn word. You just kind of, yep, it's gone.
Yeah.
You don't have time to feel in those moments. You need to keep moving, keep progressing. We've got an objective, stay on target. So I just thank you all for giving such a diverse amount of information tonight for everybody to just get a little taste of what veterans are going through. And it's not just one veteran. We are universal. The big thing that I really wanted to bring into this, which I know might be controversial, and I generally, as Soul Man and as Aaron Gibson, try to keep that universal space. And I don't like to bring in politics. But that's why I incorporated it right into that song for the veterans. Please do not judge our troops for those that are commanding at our helm, the people outside of that commanding office. We are following orders. It is the people's responsibility to vote the right people into place to make sure that these sanctuaries and these rules that we have worked hard, bled for, and died for, and sacrificed a lot for, be maintained. So I'm going to put it back on everybody else out there. When the next time voting comes around, whether it be Canadian, UK, USA, it is not just a move for a shift. It is a move to also maintain that which you have established. And why I would step in front of a bus for any one of these gentlemen here at any given time. So before we wrap everything up, of course, one big thing here that I like to do is what's new, what's big, what's going to be happening and coming up for you guys next, and where can people find you? So we'll start off. We're going to go back. Finished off with Phillip, and now we're going to work ourselves back from Phillip up to Enrique, and then we'll finish off with Frank. Look at me go.
Well, and I think collaboration is needed, because even where I'm at, I'm trying to tap into the 115,000 veterans that are in the Jacksonville metro area. There's a lot we can do if we just come together and trust each other and look at it as what we did in other countries is winning the hearts and the minds of the people. And it all starts with winning your own mind, getting your cup full. And that's what I want to do with Warrior to Love, is to bridge that gap, because I'm not a therapist. There's therapy out there. There's counselors, psychologists. You need a mentor. You need somebody that's going to coach you to take care of yourself first, and the rest will come, because your cup will be full, you'll be solid, and you can express and understand what your triggers are and how you're processing that information, and take responsibility just for you.
Love it, man. Love it. And I love you, man. You're so appreciated. Yeah, I've heard you speak a few times. And again, we carry the same cloth at this table. I guarantee it. All right, Enrique, you're next, my friend.
All right. Well, what I'm working on, I just put it in the chat, is collaborating and working with Mr. and Mrs. Military Organization as the military representative here in the state of Florida. So I'll be going around the major cities of Pensacola, Jacksonville, Tampa, Orlando, Melbourne, and Miami to create the Mr. and Mrs. Local representative. So I'll be working that throughout the whole year. And so that'll keep me busy along with my podcast, Developing the Leader Within, which is leadership centric. And that should keep me busy. I'm also golfing twice a week. So, got to add some fun in there.
You got to come up and play some golf with me.
Absolutely. I'll be up there.
I'm gonna have to travel down there and wear my kilt that day, because this Scotsman's got to make it down there just to have a good time.
Well, most of you are down here anyway.
Frank, my friend.
Well, I've just started a new podcast called Bounce Back in Business and in Life. And basically, we're looking for the hero's journey. So we're going to probably have a lot of veterans on this. Is what occurred in your life that altered the trajectory of what you thought it was going to be. And anybody who's been in the military has had their trajectory altered. Now, what did you do about it? Did you throw up your hands? Did you quit? Did you give up? What did you do? And then how the life you had post problem is better than the life you thought you were going to have, because you just pick up the pieces and keep moving forward. And I think we've had now 4 episodes have gone live so far. And I think the next one this Thursday is going to be an interview with Mel Robbins.
Good job, my friend. Keep rocking it. Please, all of you this evening, before you take off to start enjoying your weekend, make sure that you throw your links so people can get a hold of you, and of course your organizations. The whole point of this show is to, again, shine the spotlight on you guys that are helping to help other veterans out there that are silently struggling, working to make that change, and having a voice and or contributing to the impact of that voice. So thank you all for being here. I'm going to drop you all into the back of the green room. Please, everybody, make sure you're connecting with these cats and watching their shows. They've got a little tidbit every time you show up that you will take home and put right in that chest of yours. All right, gents, we're going to put you off to the back. I'm going to give you a little wave right now. Just hang out back there for a moment. All right. What a beautiful evening. And just so much diverse insights from so many different avenues to help open up and spread awareness that our military services are really putting forward into hours that most are asleep, and taking on demons that they will carry for many years, and that we still need to stay vigilant and help to take care of those by keeping an eye out. Watch for those that are showing you signs that they are not their normal selves. Take a moment, ask if they're okay, but be prepared as well to listen. Give them that space. That little moment of contributing back to another might be that pinnacle change that they need. It can start off as simple as a smile. Well, without further delay or ado, we are going to roll, of course, our mental health break montage for this evening, which was, of course, part of the pre-live. But I wanted to give one final thank you. Yes, all the songs that you have heard this evening have been written by myself and created by myself. You can find them on YouTube. Actually, it's funny because the last time I was talking to Frank, I was trying and find a way of getting away from copyright, but kind of let it fall to the wayside until a good friend of mine, Melissa Houston, basically sparked the fire in my butt to start creating my own. So thank you. A little recognition and a little bit of fun there. But please, let's take a moment to honor our veterans. And if you can, and you know a veteran that was not able to attend this evening, send this along to them. And know that each one of you are appreciated for everything that you volunteered to do. We love you all out there. And please connect with one another. Keep it luminous and kind. Oh, of course, it's just going to do this. And we're just going to smile and laugh it off because sometimes, production just doesn't want to cooperate when I'm trying to do this stuff. But we make it work in the end. We stay vigilant. Oh, God. I'm just going to play the video.
gazing into another long sunset. Vigilance on the horizon during moonrise. We are the unwavering during the vigil. No retreat regardless the numbers or their size. Do not judge us by those commending our hell. We are designed to follow orders, improvise, adapt and overcome in any rail. We are the fallen, the selfless servant and changing the tide. We are those who have volunteered our soul. We charge into the danger while others hide. Remember us, those who have been willing to sacrifice their life. The tears we will never be able to shed in the pursuance of freedom, peace and rights. Trudging forward, focused and undeterred, through the rain, mud, sleet or snow. Determination and no retreat, through our veins, pumps and flows. We are here one moment, possibly snuffed out on the next, and stand to and alert in a moment's notice. Ever marching the advance, no time for rest. We are the fallen, the selfless servant and changing the tide. We are those who have volunteered our soul. We charge into the danger while others hide. Remember us, those who have been willing to sacrifice their life. The tears we will never be able to shed in the pursuance of freedom, peace and rights. Our shells may look different, however at our core we are one. We are the faceless in the eyes of war. We remain the fire when all comes undone. Never forget what we have fought for. The gift of freedom comes at great cost. We are the soul dyers of the people. Don't let the memories of what you enjoyed today become lost. We are the fallen, the selfless servant and changing the tide. We are those who have volunteered our soul. We charge into the danger while others hide. Remember us, those who have been willing to sacrifice their life. The tears we will never be able to shed in the pursuance of freedom, peace and rights. Oh man, love to all of our veterans, no matter where borders may lie. Once a soldier, always a soldier. Our commitment to peace and life shall never die. Keep it luminous, you beautiful soul.
Soul man, shining bright, lighting up the darkest night, helping those in silent fight, sending hugs big and tight. Shine your light, oh so bright, spread love, make it right. Soul man, you ignite, open every heart, take flight. Spotlight
shine your light, oh so bright. Spread love, make it right. So man, you ignite hope in every heart. Take flight. Let your love be the guide. In you all fears subside. Together we'll stand with pride. Your warmth, a healing tide. Shine your light, oh so bright. Spread love, make it right. So man, you ignite, open every heart, take flight.
Wait, was I supposed to say something? I. Oh, yeah. We'll see you next Friday. Keep it humble and kind out there. Bye.